what you're given, it's never too late to reach for the branch and climb up, leaving sadness behind you. Fight hard for love. We can never get enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am, I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowd thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You say, never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am, I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. Stand in the light and be seen as we are.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this beautiful day in mid-November. I'm Town Councilor Ed Dombroski, and I'm joined here this afternoon by my Town Council colleagues, including Chair Julie Smith-Galvin, Councilor Chines, Councilor Ann Danahy, and Councilor Ann Santos. I'd also like to recognize our Town Administrator, Stephen Maio, as well as our delegation, Senator Jason Lewis and Representative Donald Wong. Thank you all for being here. And most importantly, I'd like to recognize Eileen and Connor and Molly and Maisie and Murphy, their two dogs. So thank you for being here for this important event. We come together today to both honor and celebrate the life of a tireless public servant who was dedicated, and we're looking to dedicate this lasting tribute to his work and his efforts to create this beautiful park. To have known Peter was to have known a genuine champion of the people of Wakefield. He was thoughtful and poised with an unflappable calmness and steady-handedness that would be the envy of any elected official. But most of all, Peter was dedicated to all of us. Peter truly cared about working to make Wakefield an even better place for all of us to be able to call our home. And we thank you, Eileen and Connor, for sharing your husband and your father with us in the town. Early in his time as a then selectman, Peter recognized the opportunity that this unique site offered to our community. An opportunity he envisioned to create a place for our community where neighbors and friends could come together and enjoy the company of others. A place for residents with 2 and 4 legs alike. And what a great vision Peter had. In the years since its opening, this park has proven to be a tremendous success. You'd be hard-pressed to find a time, day or night, warm weather or cold, when there isn't a crowd gathered and the sounds of laughter and socializing in the air, along with a few playful barks as well. And I was actually really struck by someone who just moments ago mentioned to me that he sees this as much as a people park as he does a dog park, because of the sense of community that we have all in this special place. And I can even recall a request we had of the town council a few years back to add lighting to this park, because pet parents wanted to be able to enjoy it for extended hours later into the evening with their dogs. And there's a real energy here, and it's not just excited dogs that are enjoying the company of other breeds or the treats on the table, but a real feeling of social connection for all of us who pass through these gates. This park has succeeded in bringing people together in the most unique of ways. People of all different backgrounds, experiences, religions, political ideologies, or identities gather here all as one. And at a time when it's become discouraging by some of the divisiveness we sometimes see in social media or in the news, we're fortunate to have this place, a town square of sorts, where we can make meaningful connections and form close bonds with our Wakefield neighbors. That is community building. That is what our dogs have done for us here in Wakefield. You often hear that it's the little things at the local level that can sometimes have the biggest impact on the daily lives of the residents we serve. Maybe it's filling a pothole in a street, or a new stop sign that improves safety where children are playing, or a new tree that's planted outside of someone's home. All these things are important, and all these things improve your life in some way, in some little way, in our Wakefield community. And such is the case here today with Peter's vision for this dog park as well. Thankfully, Peter had the foresight and dedication to see this project through to completion to what it is here today. And in so doing, he has helped to make our amazing Wakefield community just that much more better of a place to call home. So I'd next like to introduce Katie Pratt. I am pleased to welcome Katie. She is a senior from Wakefield Memorial High School. She is a captain, the resume is long and impressive. She is a captain of the Wakefield High swim team and a 3-time league champion in the 100 backstroke. She also holds 5 school swim team records, 5. Katie is also the assistant student director of Wakefield's a cappella group Voices of Steel and has been part of Voices of Steel for 3 years now. Katie is also the secretary of her school's National Honor Society chapter and is a member of the Musical Honor Society, Tri-M. She's also a peer leader, the Scholarship Foundation student director, and president of Wakefield's all-female chorus group. And she happens to be competing in a meet tomorrow, so fortunately we didn't have a rain date for this event today. So with that, here to perform America the Beautiful is Katie Pratt.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining seas.
That was beautiful, Katie. Thank you for that. I would now like to welcome a familiar face to many of us in the community, Town Administrator Steve Maio. Steve is a proud graduate of the Wakefield Warrior Class of 1980 and a resident of Wakefield for now over 50 years. He was a member of the then Board of Selectmen for 9 years and has tirelessly served as our Town Administrator since 2008 with an unmatched commitment in his role. I welcome Steve.
Thank you very much, Ed. Just a few words, and I want to say that in the beginning how privileged I was to meet Peter May and to get to know Peter May, how privileged I was to serve under Peter May when he was a member of the Town Council, and how privileged I was to be his friend. Peter had a way of talking to you. You thought you were the only person in the room when he was talking to you. He really focused on what you had to say. He listened, and I know that that was shared by not just me, but I've heard that from many citizens and town employees alike. You know, he really had a genuine interest in what you were talking about and wanted to help you if he could. And I think that's probably why when he went and walked his dogs in the neighborhood, there were probably 2 or 3 hour walks. I'm thinking, Eileen, I mean, did he like come home like days later because he kept talking to everybody? And, you know, my wife and I would run into him on some of those walks too, particularly during the COVID beginning period. So just a wonderful, wonderful man. And I think out of those walks, maybe this idea came. It was probably from a constituent. We should have a dog park. And, when Peter became chair, this became his passion. This became a great interest to try to put this together and to do it, as he would say, Steve, I am a fiscal conservative. I really don't want to spend a lot of money on this. And we looked at a lot of places in town, and we settled on this together. Put it together with our DPW, who did a great job, does a great job in keeping it up and putting in the new mulch and cleaning it up. And I think it has been really so enjoyed by the community. So when I think about Peter, I think that Peter did a lot of big things, right? He helped balance the budget. He, got us on a good fiscal path. But he also did, maybe some people think this is a little thing, but this has brought so much joy into so many people in the community, very tangible way. So just want to say a few words about Peter, what a great job he did, and I guess this is really part of his legacy. So thank you, Mr. Dombroski.
Thank you for that, Steve. And you see Steve on crutches, but you should see the other guy.
Yeah. He was from Stoneham.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce Julie Smith-Galvin to offer remarks on behalf of the town. Having been first elected to the Town Council in 2018, Julie is currently serving in her second term as Town Councilor and was chosen by her peers in the spring of 2021 to serve as Town Council President, a position that she holds today. An experienced pet parent herself, I welcome Councilor Smith-Galvin.
Thank you, Ed. And just thinking about Peter, I know all the counselors who are here today are better counselors because we all served with Peter. He was so thoughtful, and nothing was too small for him to respond to or too large for him to take on. And that's why I really think that Peter was the truest reflection of a public servant. And this dog park really is a tangible symbol of that service. He heard about a need. He knew that it would improve the life not only of residents, but of four-legged residents. He worked with the town to identify a piece of land. And who would have seen this square piece of land and thought, that's going to be a great dog park? I'm sure there was talks about parking, and he persevered. And he rallied advocates, and he secured funding, and he celebrated. But not only that, it wasn't just the celebration. It was a continued, really, passion, I think. I remember distinctly the Boy Scouts coming to us and for an Eagle Scout project wanting to do all of the additions here. And Peter was so supportive of that, of course, but also got into the details and where it was going to be and make sure that the dogs could run around and that it was for all sizes. And he thought about everything, large and small. So I am so happy that this is going to be named after Peter, and it's going to remind us and future generations that one person can care and make a difference for the community. And I just want to say, we have a lot of constituents here in town, and I also now understand that having the dogs on your side means they don't talk back or call you when something is wrong. So he was smart in that regard. Thank you so much, Eileen Connor. We are so happy to have shared Peter and that this will live on in his name.
Thank you, Julie. It is now my great honor to welcome Mr. Connor Maio to offer some remarks. Connor is the son of Peter and was a great source of pride for Peter throughout his life, and we all know that. In recent weeks, I know many of us were so struck by the poise and thoughtfulness that Connor expressed in speaking of his late father and sharing their memories together. It is clear that he was with a strong bond with your father, Connor. We welcome you here today.
Thank you for all of you being here. I know an event like this, my dad would love to be here, mainly to just be in front of people. My dad was all about the W. He did the gesture, and the values that were espoused today about what it takes to kind of build a dog park like this, the commitment. Certainly, the value of community and responsibility were all values that really were emblematic of who my dad was. An analogous story that I just want to quickly share is very early on in our tenure in Wakefield when I was in first grade. It was our first year with the Wakefield Basketball Association. My team made it to the championship, not because of me. I don't think I scored a point that year. But we lost, and the first song played after the loss was Queen's song, We Are the Champions, which you might remember the line, "No time for losers," is said, it's very emphasized in that song, and I think my whole team cried. And we stayed for other games, and each game, the first song that was played was the same song, "No Time for Losers," and each team had their fair share of kids coming away crying. And my dad was so torn up about that, he decided, next year I'm going to volunteer to DJ this event and not play that song. And so for the next 10 years, he volunteered that event, which is an all-day event, 8 to like 6 or something. He DJ'd a Saturday in, I think, January for 10 years. And so it's just another analogous story of the dedication my dad espoused, and the understanding that community is more than just paying your property taxes. You know, it's recognizing that you have a responsibility to give back to your community in your own way with your own gifts. And my dad, fortunately, realized that was a moment for him to step up. So thank you again for being here. And thank you so much to the Town Council, Steve Maio, and everyone else involved to help put this together and dedicate it to my dad's name. It's truly an honor, something I never could have anticipated. I'm sure my dad couldn't have anticipated. So thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Now if I could just invite Eileen and the Town Council to come up here as well. So I invite everyone now to join us in the unveiling of the new sign dedicating this park as the Peter J. May Memorial Dog Park in honor of a husband, father, friend, colleague, and dedicated public servant. May Peter's legacy live on for many years to come, and may the sense of community he sought to build with this park bring us that much closer together as one Wakefield with each passing day. And with special thanks to our DPW for putting this event together, they will also be putting up this sign after the event concludes this afternoon. And finally with that, to close out, I would like to invite Katie Pat to come back up again to perform Stand in the Light.
Didn't I tell you I'd hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith. You get what you give, and it's never too late to reach for the branch and climb up, leaving sadness behind you. fight hard for love. We can never get enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Right in the storms that come raging toward all us, we dive. Holding our breath as we break through the surface with arms open wide. With arms open wide. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are.
Katie, thank you for your tremendous talent. Thank you for being here today. And again, I just want to say a special thank you to Steve Maio, who is instrumental in bringing this event together today, along with our great DVD under the direction of Joe Conway, and thank you entire team for that. Thank you WCAT for covering this event for those who couldn't otherwise be here to attend, and thank all of you for coming on this beautiful fall day to celebrate this really special event. We have refreshments over here for anyone that's interested in it. I know there are plenty of dog treats over there as well. So with that, thank you and have a good rest of your weekend.